Hey guys, hope everyone's well. Here in the UK, it's turned a bit cloudy. Well, where I've been, I don't know about other parts of the UK, but we did have some blue sky for a while. Still a bit blue, but it's gone mostly cloudy, unfortunately. So I'm hoping the weather will be really good in May, as it was at the start of April until the end of April. It was really good. But anyway, I know I often talk about the weather. I was watching a video from the channel Abroad in Japan, and because I want to focus on Asia, but I think it's an English chap, but he goes to Japan a lot and he does all these quirky things. I love to watch as many of his channel videos as possible. And I was thinking of talking about channels that to do with Asia, including those that are made from people like Carolina Goswami, who's from, I think she's actually Polish, but she's married to an Indian chap, and her channel's really cool, called India in Details. So I want to talk about as many channels that have something to do with Asia as possible, from Asians themselves, and also just generally, as I wish to stick to the topic of Asia. And he was in. I lost my train of thought, but he was in Japan. And he said it's something about Japan being the snow capital of the world, which I would have thought either Canada or Russia would be. So I'm not sure if he's right about that. But he went to this. Someone booked him like a skiing thing, and he was in something where it was like you could barely see right in front of you. So I normally love snow, but I'd be terrified in that situation, I'm sure. Especially if you got lost and you were stuck in the mountain all by yourself. And he did a few about the Fox Village and things like that. So I thought it's quite interesting. Looks like an interesting channel. I might try and check out more of his stuff. And I think he's got a good voice as well. So I might try and check out more of his stuff and all that sort of stuff. And I'd love to do reaction videos with as many channels who give me permission to react to their videos as possible, especially Asian YouTubers. And but yeah, in my last video I talked about how I do these alliteration things, and as it's Saturday, begins with S, I'd like to talk about sport. As I say, sticking to the theme of Asia, I talk about sports from Asia, how to get more Asian fans of Serie A, Italian football, and I know I mainly want to focus on Asia, but as an Italian fan, I'd love to see how I'd love Italy to improve relations with the rest of the world through football or soccer or calcio or whatever you want to call it, whichever term you prefer. Maybe Italians to learn about what soccer or football, what football or soccer is called in every possible country, so they can have diplomacy for football and like help Italians to train and that sort of thing. But yeah, I also wish to think of like scientists, how scientists in Asia can work towards solving diseases and curing problems faced around the world and that sort of thing. I know in my last video I had some waters, but I'm going back to the tea at the moment, so I'm not normally the most healthy person. So I started trying to drink water because apparently it helps you to lose weight. So I'm quite tubby in the middle in my stomach area, basically. And I used to be really skinny, so as I was quite active, and I had probably a fairly high metabolism, so I could get away with it. But now I put on quite a lot of weight, so I forgot to do yesterday as well, like looking into fitness videos and things like that, and sharing some of those fitness videos with people on Facebook, including those groups in Asia, which I wish to support. Again, which I covered in my last video. Like Mondays, I wish to do like motivational Mondays and fitness, Friday fitness Friday and things like that, where I hope to share like motivational videos. I think I did actually include some which I shared, like from a dyslexic guy called Billy Blanks, who does a thing called Tai Bo, which is like martial arts, which also helps you to keep fit as well, and helps you like to lose weight and just keep yourself going, keep yourself in shape. But anyway, yeah, so I'd love to focus today though on, or on Saturdays and Sundays, on things like scientists, how scientists across Asia, possibly even working with people from Africa as well. But as I say, most of the stuff I want to do in April, May, and June would be to benefit Asia specifically, but they could still perhaps work with scientists from around the world, including in Africa, anti-imperial projects where they help each other and use the things they have in common, which is like the fact that both African and Asian nations were colonized, and in the future perhaps working also Indigenous or Native Americans and people from Australasia could also work to benefit Asia and look at how they can network with each other in turn. and also how the diaspora can help people in Asia, like scientists possibly going to parts of Asia and giving tips, like Asian scientists who live in other countries outside of Asia, other nations outside of Asia, can also look at how they can give Asian nations tips and things like that. So, as I say, as ever, I'd love to know what you think about some of my strange, quirky ideas, and possibly I could include at some point like some of the strange quirks that I have, which you probably already noticed some of them already in my videos, like alliterations and patterns and how I like to organise myself, and some of the strange things I do in my writing and all that. I know I keep talking about getting to actually talk about that, but it takes a while to actually think about how I can express these things, because sometimes they're quite difficult to understand, even for myself. But unfortunately, I've never been that good at science personally, but I think many dyslexic or autistic people can be though. But as I said, I have dyspraxia as well, so I think that affects like being confident in terms of doing practical things, so the practical application. But I'm quite the ideas person. But so I'd love to know what you think about Asian scientists working together. Most of all, I'd love to know what Asian governments or people in Asia would love to. I'd love to hear their opinion about what they would think about if scientists could come together and help Asia to unite through like a pan-Asian scientific network as well, and also as well as the startups and SMEs and how they can help each other to grow and learn from each other and things like that. And as I said before, like NGOs helping those groups, and also like I know I mainly talk about wanting to empower Asia, but I think a lot of countries want to get into Africa, and maybe they could network together through their anti-imperial connections, like because most countries in Africa, I'm sure most of the Asian nations, were colonized at some point. So I think there's got good grounds to work with each other and something in common. And hopefully China will. I've heard a lot of things about how people in Asia, especially China, treat Africans not very, which is really badly. But I think that it would be great if African nations could improve their relations and vice versa. And I think African nations have got good potential if they use it right to suggest to or to demand even that any country, any nation that wants to trade with Africa must train up its youth in software development and things like that, so that they get something back in return, which will train up the youth, in which they'll be empowered in the longer term. But I'd love to be like an ambassador to and have these high ambitions and goals like that. But I'd love to be an ambassador to facilitate like what sort of deals they can ask for. Like Africa could still ask for political support as well, and like they could both support each other politically and in science and other areas. But for some reason, like most of the stuff I want to do in technology, I wish to do to support Africa, including software and all other forms of technology. But yeah, so I hope to somehow find a way to put these ideas into practice and perhaps network with people and do reactions to Asian YouTubers videos and YouTube videos that to do with Asia, and like to ask those channels if I can react to them, and if any channels want me to do reactions on their channels and vice versa, please let me know in like the comments as well, and some of my videos. Like if you let me know, I can do reactions on your channel, and you can also, like, anyone's free to do reactions on my channel if they want. I wouldn't really like say it's against copyright, because it would probably help me to get to promote my channel anyway. So I did look into it. Like I wondered if you could do just like react to channels, but I think technically speaking, you're supposed to ask for permission from those channels, or at least or at least include a link to those channels in like the description, or which I'm sure anyway. If you do react to another channel, I'm sure that people obviously know what channel you're reacting to anyway. But I'm not sure if most YouTubers ask for permission before they do react to. So I've seen some where they react in a negative light, so I would imagine they didn't really ask permission, but they probably took a risk or whatever. But anyway, I thought I'd make like Happy New Month and then Happy New Month. I was supposed to do it in the opposite order, but there are a few things I forgot. But I thought anything I might forget in the first video I could cover in the second one. But yeah, I thought I'd do something different to my usual lists as well. And I'd love to know what you think about it. So I think I'm going to stop waffling out. Otherwise, this video is going to be too long. So probably already is. But if you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and especially any likes new subscribers, really welcome. Again, if you want me to react to your channel or you want to react to mine, please let me know in the comments below. But please feel free to react to any of my videos, even if you take the mick out of me, I don't really mind that much. I'll probably be a bit shy and embarrassed, but if it helps me to get more subscribers and all that, because I'd like to do YouTube as a career, so I need as many subscribers, viewers and so forth as possible. So I appreciate any likes and shares, I really do. So please share this video, like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and all that sort of stuff. And as I say, if you made it this far, I really do appreciate it, and hope you have a blessed day, week, month and so forth, and future. Peace and love.